Hi guys, this is John here. In today's lecture, we will look at how to assemble the DIY hologram kit and use it with an app, with the app that you will be using that you have developed using the enablar software. So let us get started. So I'm going to go ahead and unpack the items in this box. Okay, so guys, you have a bunch of things that were as part of the box. Now, this is your plastic sheet that you could use to cut your own pyramid. Right now I'm going to use this pyramid as is. However, if you're interested in cutting your own pyramid, you can use this plastic sheet here. So let's look at the other parts here. In this plastic bag here, you have a few separators, these black objects, which will help us put our structure together. And you have your acrylic pieces. Now, what you have to do is these acrylic pieces are black, so you will have to go ahead and peel the paper off it. Now, this is going to take a little bit of time, so I'll go ahead and do this. I'll just quickly show you. So you can peel this paper off the acrylic sheet like this, and you don't need this paper, so you can throw this away. And you can continue doing this for all the other parts. So as you can see that once the paper comes off, it's a nice beautiful black colored structure. Now, if you look at the structure carefully, you have one side which is shiny and glossy, whereas the other side has a matte finish. We will see the importance of that when we assemble the entire hologram structure. So now that you have taken off the paper of all these acrylic pieces, now we're going to start assembling this. So this is the sticker that I'll be using towards the end. So right now I'm going to put this on the side. So let's get started with our construction. Now what we do is we slowly take out all the other separators and the screws, and we keep them to the side here. Now please make sure you do this on a table so that you don't lose these screws here. And we are going to go one by one, step by step, and start assembling. So please follow this carefully. So now we start off with this first piece. Now, as I told you, each piece has two sides to it: the shiny glossy surface and the non-shiny matte surface. Now, when we start off with this piece, please make sure that the matte finish or the non-shiny finish is towards the side facing you, and the shiny part is facing downwards. So we start off with this, and we start off with one of the separators. So now what you do is you take one of these screws, you insert them in one of the outer holes. Please make sure there are two holes here. I'll call this hole as the inner hole, and I'll call this hole as the outer hole. Similarly, this is the inner, this is the outer, and you can understand the rest of them. So let's start off with this outer hole here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these screws, put it through the outer hole here. So if you look at this separator carefully, it has a groove hole here on both sides. You can use any one side that you wish. So I'm going to use this side here, and carefully watch this. I'm going to place this hole on the screw and rotate this a little bit. Once this gets stuck, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the screwdriver here and slowly screw this inside. Go step by step. So I'm going to screw this until this tightens it. So I'll keep screwing it. Please make sure that you're holding the separator with one hand and you have the screw in the other hand, so you can tighten it carefully. And please make sure that it's tight enough so that you can test it does not come out. So you can repeat the same step with the other four. So now that you have put together these 4 separators and the 4 screws, again I would like to highlight that the non-shiny surface should be upwards and the shiny surface should be on the downward side. So now that we finished this, let's go ahead and take the next step, which is taking this piece and putting it together like this. Now here what we will do is the shiny surface must be upwards and the non-shiny surface must face the other non-shiny surface here. Please make sure, I'll repeat again, the shiny surface must face you and the non-shiny surface, which is this side, must face this non-shiny surface here, or the matte surface as I said before. So now let us go ahead and screw these things together here like this. So you will use this separator. Now you have 2 grooves here, this one and this one here. You have to take one side and screw it here, and the other side here, the other groove, will fit into the groove here, which is this one. So let's go ahead and do the first part here. So you will take the screw, put it through the hole here, like this. So the screw comes up like this. You will have to make sure that you're supporting the screw with one finger. Now you take one of these grooves, you align it with the screw here, you fit it, you turn it a little bit so that it anchors onto the screw, and then what you can do is you can go ahead and use the screwdriver to rotate the screw inside the groove, and you can keep doing this until you tighten it. It's the same step as what we did before. So as you can see, this forms another pillar. Now you can go ahead and complete the other 4 as I'm about to do. So now that you have put together these 4 separators, and again I would like to repeat that these separators come on the inner grooves and these separators come on the outer grooves. Okay, so now that you're done with this, now it's time to go ahead and put the cover. Now for the cover, as I said, the shiny surface will come towards the upper side and the non-shiny surface, which is the matte finish, will come to the lower side or facing this non-shiny surface here. So let's go ahead and put them together. So what you'll have to do is put a screw through one of the grooves. Make sure that they align with this one. And once you do that, you will have to use the screwdriver okay. Now carefully you'll have to do the other 3 as well. So I'm going to go and do it right in front of you. So just follow my lead. So now using one hand you'll have to hold this ceiling stable. Otherwise what will happen is your screw will come out of place. So you'll have to make sure that while you're aligning this hole with this groove, you can see this groove through this hole. So while you're aligning these two, aligning as in putting them in the same line, you'll have to hold these other 2 sides with your other hand, second hand. Once you feel that the screw and the groove are aligned with each other, you'll feel that it's in place. Now you can use the screwdriver to screw this in place. You can see that I have to move my ceiling a little bit so that this groove here aligns with the groove of your separator, which is below this here. The groove inside this separator which you can see from top, aligns with this groove here. So if you see, I move it a little bit using my right hand to align them together. And once I'm confident that they're aligned, I will go ahead and put the screw on top. Now once they are aligned, I will use this screwdriver again to screw this in place. Now this is the final piece, so we have to move this a little bit here and there to make sure that they align. So you can see that they're already aligned. So I'm going to use this last screw here. Okay, so well, your structure is ready. This is great. There are a few extra screws given to you just in case if you drop and lose them. But what I will do is I will go ahead and put them back in the plastic bag that we got. All right. So now that the structure is ready, we need to bring in the most important component for our hologram, which is the pyramid. So now let's go ahead and build this pyramid. So as I told you in the beginning of this lecture, we have provided another plastic sheet with all these markings. You can cut the pyramid. It will cut into the same shape. So in case if you are interested in doing this on your own, you can take a cutter and do that. But I'm just going to start with this piece here. So what you need to do is, now to put this together, I'm just going to put a white sheet of paper here so that we can see this clearly. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these two edges, align them as closely as possible. I need to align them like this. Now we need to stick these two parts here. So we've already provided some tape. We provided this tape here. So I'm going to put this together like this. So now you've been provided with this tape here, and you remove the tape. We've called this tape here. You remove the tape. You apply it in a way where half of your tape is on this surface and the other half will come in on this surface. So let's go ahead and stick this tape first. So I'm going to stick it in a way where it's half like this on this surface. So you can see it's half here and half there. So now that you've put half of the tape on one side and the other half is open, now let's watch this step carefully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this pyramid completely such that these two surfaces align with each other. So I'm going to fold this like this here. So now that you've put the tape here, you go ahead and press this on both sides like this and like this. So you press this and you press it on the other side as well. So the pyramid kind of balances itself out. So now that you see that the pyramid has two extensions, one here and one here. Now let's go ahead and see how it fits into our base here. So what you do is you take this pyramid and its extension here so that it fits inside this groove here. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. So if you look at it from the bottom, so you can see that these extensions come into play here and they are on this groove, and same on the other side. So if you want, you can just fold this a little bit.
Hologram
don't press it too hard, and your hologram pyramid is ready to use.
And also use a Bluetooth controller
this was
so that
the
we
entire
can control the
construction
hologram
of the
that will
DIY
show up
hologram
on
pyramid
our mobile
here.
phone here.
And now let's go ahead and
So
see
let me go ahead and install
that
a
given
mobile phone
a
app.
hologram app,
My friend
how
Mandar
do we
sent
use
it to
it
me, so I'm
with
just going to go ahead and install
this pyramid and the Bluetooth controller that was provided with this kit. So this is the Bluetooth controller. So I'll go ahead and use that right now.
So guys, now what we are going to see that since we've already constructed our pyramid.
So let's go ahead and open this app. So it'll ask you for some permissions. Go ahead and say yes. If you see this carefully, your app has 4 mirror images which will place on our hologram DIY kit here. And I will be placing this like this. But first, let me show you how to pair this controller with this here. So let's go ahead and do that step. So I'm going to exit the app for now. And I'm going to go ahead and start my Bluetooth. So my Bluetooth is off. I'm going to turn on my Bluetooth. And with this, I need to turn on the controller as well. So on the right hand side, this is my power button. So I will go ahead and press the power button. You see a blue light that turns on. And when it's blinking, that means that it is searching for a phone to pair with. So I will go ahead and open my Bluetooth settings. And here I have an option of pair new device. And here this shows up as VR box. And it already pairs as VR box. So if you see, it says currently connected. It's currently connected to my VR box. Now, a very important step that I need to do is I need to change the settings of this controller so that it shows up as a mouse on my phone. Now, this is a very important step. Please make sure you all get this right. So I press this button, which is at the rate, and I have this button D. So I press both of them at the same time simultaneously. And now that you see on my phone, a mouse showed up. So I can control this mouse using this controller. So if you see this. Now, why do we need this? Is when I will start my hologram app. So let's go ahead and start the hologram app here. The name of the app was BioHolo. It's just a name we've given. So let's go ahead and click on that app. So I'm going to place this phone. Now you have to make sure that the center of your phone here is centered with the center of your pyramid. So I'm going to go ahead and place this carefully. Let's look at what the hologram looks like. So now that you can see, you can't see anything here. Now the reason behind that, there are two reasons. Reason number one is that the brightness of my phone is very low. So first let me go ahead and increase the brightness. So now that I've increased the brightness, and the second thing is that there is a lot of light interfering from the three sides. So what we're going to do is, we're going to use these parts here that we have and make sure that the non-shiny finish is towards the inward side like this, and I go ahead and place it here. And similarly I use this slit here, and I use this slit here. And then what I do is I go ahead and place my phone on top like this. Just make sure that the center here is aligned with the center of your pyramid. Now that I've placed my phone on top, let us now look at how the hologram is formed in this pyramid. Now I'm going to view my hologram inside this pyramid here. So let's go ahead and look at that. Now if you look at carefully, you can see the 3D model of the heart, and I am using my controller here to zoom in. So now if you can see the 3D model of your heart. It's small, but that's actually the formation of a hologram inside this pyramid. Now I'm using my controller here to zoom in. If you see, I'm zooming in, I'm zooming out. Now as you can see that here the hologram is formed inside, although it's very small, but that's because of the size of the screen of my mobile phone. Now using the controller here in my other screen, you can see that I can move my controller up, down, left and right. When I move it up and down, you will see that the size of my hologram here increases and decreases. And when I move it left and right, you will see that the model rotates. So now let's go ahead and see the model rotating. So if you can see that I'm rotating the model here as I go left and right. Now let's go ahead and increase the size a little bit. So you saw that the size increased. I can go left, I can go right. So basically I can manipulate my 3D model using this controller. The reason behind that is that the size of my 3D model is limited by the size of my screen, and this, when it is projected on the 4 sides of my pyramid, it forms a small hologram. Now if I have a bigger screen, the size of my hologram will increase. So since this is a mobile phone, we are seeing a small hologram, but the idea of this kit is for you guys to understand how a hologram is formed. Now what you guys can do is, you can take a larger screen, build a larger structure like this, and you can watch a much bigger hologram being formed. So I hope that you guys were clear in terms of how this kit is constructed, how a hologram is formed, and how we pair this controller with this mobile phone so that we can control the hologram and also rotate this. So let's go ahead and see the final output once again. So as we can see that you've got your hologram being formed here, and I'm controlling this using my controller to increase the size, and I'm rotating this using the left and right of my controller. So what you have learned in this lecture today is how to assemble this pyramid, how to install a hologram app that you've already created on your cell phone, and how to pair this Bluetooth controller with your mobile phone so that you can manipulate the hologram which is formed on your pyramid here. So this completes our entire hologram experience. What you guys can try now is create different 3D models and see how they look on the hologram app. Like for example, you can create the lungs, you can create a heart, you can create skeletons, you can choose different 3D models that you can work with and try it on your hologram kit. So I'm looking forward to hearing some ideas from you all. Thank you guys. I hope this lecture was clear. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.